Welcome to the Yachting Australia's Instructors course. Over the next few days, you're going to have a lot of fun learning about delivering the Yachting Australia Discover Sailing programs. Yachting Australia is the peak body for sailing in Australia, with 8 member associations and 350 member clubs who have nearly 70,000 members and roughly 2,500 accredited instructors. Yachting Australia has 2 key roles. One is high performance and the other is sport development, which encompasses education and training and Discover Sailing. For every program being delivered by Yachting Australia instructors, there is an instructor training program to match, and every instructor is qualified to the same national standard. Your senior instructor will guide you through the instructor's handbook during the course. There are a number of materials that have been developed for you which will make your job as an instructor easier and more effective. You'll learn a lot of new skills and teaching techniques and spend time learning about risk management and safety considerations, which are essential factors in becoming a Yachting Australia instructor. But before you start today, let's have a look at the Discover Sailing Pathway and what it means to become a Yachting Australia instructor.
What I really love about being an instructor, it's an interesting question and it's difficult for me to answer. I love being on the water, I love messing around in boats, but above all, I really love seeing the improvement in my participants, all the participants in my courses. I love seeing their achievements and successes from absolutely no skills to being able to sail independently with confidence and having just a ball themselves.
It's great to see your participants progressing, from coming into knowing nothing to going away being a good, solid, competent boat handler. But also, there's a great opportunity as an instructor to learn from them. You always learn something every day you're out in the water.
I love being an instructor because I get to meet new people every day. I'm on the water, I get paid, and I pass on my knowledge.
There are over 130 Discover Sailing centres Australia-wide that need qualified Discover Sailing instructors to deliver their programs.
There are so many benefits to becoming a Yachting Australia Discover Sailing instructor. Where do I start? Firstly, you are covered by a national insurance scheme that's provided through Yachting Australia. You become part of a network of instructors nationally. You're also a member of a national team that's developing and providing best practice instructing techniques and methodologies in best practice programs on a national level.
Firstly, you learn how to teach, learn how to instruct. You're going to learn new techniques in doing that, and also you're going to have access to a whole stack of national resources.
Receive instructor resource packs that include logbooks and teaching aids. You also have access to all online resources. You'll become part of a network of instructors and receive quarterly newsletters and updates.
To access these instructor resources, go to the Yachting Australia website, click on Education and Training, Instructors, Forms and Resources. And here you can select teaching aids from the program that is relevant to your qualification.
You meet heaps of new people, which is just masses of fun. And speaking of fun, probably the best incentive to become an instructor is that it is just a great way to spend time. It's exciting, it's fun, it's rewarding, and it's challenging.
On the Discover Sailing Pathway, there's really 3 main courses in the Powerboat Pathway. The first one of those is Start Powerboating. Great course, introductory level, covers all the essentials of safety equipment and the parts of the boat, and really hammers home the key skills in operating a small powerboat. Then if you progress on to step 2, we're into Powerboat Handling course. This is a lot more advanced and intermediate boat handling skills. and also a bit of on-water navigation, a one-day course. And then the third step of the pathway is the safety boat operator. The main focus of this is supporting club activities, such as dinghy sailing and even kayaking, kite surfing, all those kind of craft. Yet some people, if they don't want to go into supporting the club activities, they might want to progress into bigger boats, and that's where you can feed into the motor cruising program and maybe look at cruising as an activity. Again, other people go into powerboat racing. So there's a whole stack of opportunities to follow on from the pathway.
The Dinghy program sits virtually in all areas of the sailing pathway, moving right from the very start in the Learn to Sail area at beginner level through to competition sailing. But it also importantly includes the opportunity to continue in a recreational manner within the sport. We begin with the start sailing at step 1 with the Tackers program for small children and the Dinghy program for larger teenagers and adults. The program follows the pathway through to refining skills in the better sailing program, through to those people that have a competitive desire. They follow step 3 of the program, which moves into the competition and racing side of sailing.
The first step in the pathway of the Keelboat program covers start crewing and start helming. This provides participants with the understanding of how to use the safety equipment on board and also prepares them to become an active crew member on a keelboat. Step 2 allows participants to advance their sailing skills and knowledge and enables them to become a keelboat skipper. And for those wishing to progress further along the pathway, Step 3 gives the participants the opportunity to learn all about spinnakers and racing.
In addition to dinghy, keelboat and powerboat, the windsurfing program sits within the Discover Sailing Pathway. There are 3 steps along the windsurfing pathway: start windsurfing, better windsurfing and start racing.
I think the first thing that bit of advice that I would give is that the instructors have got to enjoy themselves. You've got to have fun out on the water, you've got to have fun in the clubhouse. If you're having fun, there's a really, really good chance that all of the participants in your programs will be enjoying themselves as well.
So for a new instructor starting out, there's a whole stack of resources available on the Yachting Australia website, and there's some other stuff that we've added into the logbook. There's a trip checklist, there's the collision regulations at the end, so I'd encourage you to use them.
My role as an instructor entails a great many things. Firstly, my normal day starts off with looking at the weather. I need to get the weather forecast because that's an important part of my planning for the sessions that I'm running during the day. There are always safety considerations to be taken into account in all of the planning, and that's obviously weather dependent. As the weather changes, safety considerations change.
My advice to new instructors starting out is always the same. Follow the tried and tested session plans, use all available resources, ask questions to fellow instructors, and if you're not having fun, look within.
So it's really important to use as much information as you can when you're planning your course and developing your instructing materials. And then once you've planned your day, it's critical that you go and rehearse and try and work out exactly how the timing is going to run. Decide on which locations you're going to use to teach each activity, and then remember why people are there. Each group is going to differ, so you need to think about trying to modify your training to suit the audience that you've got on the day.
Be a tiny little bit critical of every performance that you give as an instructor. So every session that you deliver, think of one thing that you would like to improve. And the next time that you deliver that particular session, make that improvement. You'll always be a far better instructor each time that you deliver those sessions.
It's important to revalidate because we need instructors to keep the sport alive. By revalidating, instructors are staying in touch, refreshing their skills, and they'll always be delivering quality sessions.
Well, in a nutshell, you are trying to provide best practice instructing techniques and methods to the participants in all of your courses to ensure that they develop the skills to the maximum of their capacity. Now, surely the only way that we can do that is to make sure that individually we are abreast with current methodologies and techniques. And the only way that you can make sure that you stay on pace with latest trends is to participate in revalidation.
Once you become a qualified Discover Sailing instructor, you can access mySailor on the Yachting Australia website. mySailor is where your personal details are stored, so it's important to ensure that you keep these up to date. Details of your instructor qualifications, highlighting due dates for annual renewal fee and instructor revalidation are also stored in mySailor and available to print. And to find out more about becoming a Yachting Australia instructor, programs and instructor resources, go to yachtingaustralia.org.au. You recently completed the online Instructor General Principles course. During the course, you learned about the fundamental principles required to become a good instructor. These principles are detailed in more depth in the Instructor Handbook. Now let's discuss how you will apply these principles in today's instructor course and in your future instructing. What are some of these principles? How will you apply these in today's course and during future courses? And now you're ready to begin, and it's over to your senior instructor for the rest of the course. Good luck and have fun!